There seems to be a square in front of what you're sharing, Sheila.
What? Okay. All right. Well, good. Oh, all right. Sorry, we have a minute.
So who came up with that groovy little jam?
Oh, a really great composer, Jalen Gnarly. She's up and coming.
Oh,
She's
nice.
amazing. So shout out to Jalen. Go online, JLIN. She is up and coming, and she's already really coming. She's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Jalen.
Lovely.
All right, we're counting down. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Oh God, it keeps stopping. What's going on with the music? It's not the track. Okay. Sorry, I have 30 seconds. I'm just excited.
So am I.
No, we can't do it. It messes up her music. It's nice, isn't it? All right, well, here we are. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coaches and Coffee with Sheila James. It's so exciting to be here with you this morning. I have one of my favorite coaches and favorite human beings in all the world, Ken Robinson, who is the CEO and coach of Inspired Directions. He coaches technical people to be developers. He coaches teams. He coaches in the realm of leadership, and he totally coaches and empowers men and women from all over the world. Hello, Ken Robinson. How are you?
Well, good morning, Sheila. It's so great to be with you and talk to you.
It's so great to be with you. You see this big plastered smile. And just for all you ladies out there looking, he is taken. However, you have to say, good morning, handsome. Hello. All right. Well, let's jump right in, Ken. Today, we want to talk about one of the things that you shared with me is that you started to deal with, part of Coaches and Coffee is for you to have a magical week, to have set your goals for the week, set your intention, what you intend to accomplish for the week. However, there's a conversation to be had at the end of the week. And Ken today is going to coach and work with us on completing your week. What did you say you would do? What did you do? What didn't you do? What are you now not going to do, or whatever? So Ken, talk to us for a minute about what you have been seeing about completing your week.
So one of the things, so thank you, Sheila. First of all,
Yeah.
I'm absolutely ecstatic to talk about this topic. It's one of the things that I'd say for me was a long time coming, and when I discovered it, it really empowered me. Now, one of the things to set the stage is I want to talk a little bit about what had me kind of come to this. One of the things that has always been there for me. If there are people out there that have that ADHD or ADD label, right, where it is you do a whole lot of things and a whole lot of them go completely and crash, what can tend to happen for a lot of human beings out there is, well, I don't really want to have a conversation about the things that I failed at, right? Mm-hmm. Because my brain is constantly going from this thing to that thing to this thing to that thing. And if I have to sit and go through this list of all the things that I didn't complete, man, it comes up like a really big failure. So for a long time, it was one of the things that I just didn't want to have a conversation about, all the places that I didn't finish or complete things.
Yeah.
and as you kind of pointed to, one of the things that I've recently just gotten to is not really having any morality around whether something got completed or didn't. It just, it either did happen or it didn't happen, right? And when I could begin to have that conversation about that it did happen or it didn't happen, and there was no other heat, there's no heat on it, right? It just is what it is. Uh, all of a sudden, I could begin to get empowered around choosing each week. Do I still want to do that thing? Do I not want to do that thing anymore? Or is that a conversation that I want to have at another time? That transformed the whole conversation.
That is so rich what you're saying. And our listeners out there, this is really, you said like a mouthful, right? One, even, when you're confronting your accomplishments, what you did do, what you didn't do, the whole idea of not bringing morality into it. Say more about what you mean by that morality, because people might have kind of missed that. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where you're not making it wrong, you're not invalidating yourself or anything. So say a little bit more about that, Ken.
Sure. I mean, if you think about it, us human beings, we're hardwired to, in the back of our head, there's that little voice and it always says, well, that's right, that's wrong, that's
That's
good,
right. Yeah.
that's bad, right? And it's not loud, it's just the subtext of how everything occurs for us. And what we don't realize is that none of us wants to be bad people. I don't want to be a bad person. So, as I go through my day and I don't do the things if you're, like I said, most human beings, we get wired to hear that conversation in the background about, well, you can't stay on task, you can't do this, you like all of that, it builds up after a while, it has an impact. But that's the morality of it. That's the good, the bad, the right, and the wrong. And as I pointed to, nobody wants to be wrong, especially in their own movie, in my own film, right?
That's
I'm
right.
not a bad person.
Yeah.
So it's just easy not to deal with things. Or when we can begin to give up that it's good or bad or right or wrong, and it just is, hey, this either got accomplished or didn't get accomplished. Now we can get underneath. Well, did I really want that thing? Did I
Or am I
really
going to
want to
move
move?
that to the next week? Or am I going to do that in 30 days, 2 weeks? Or am I never going to do that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it kind of gives you a direction as to, it starts the what? Set up for your next week. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So
it puts the price. And here's one of the other things that I also discovered about it too, Sheila.
yeah.
So one of the things that in teaching teams, one of the technologies that we use is called Agile. And one of the things about Agile is it's very iterative. And Agile focuses on delivering value. What do I mean by value? It focuses on delivering something that's important, right? That we choose is valuable for us. And at every given moment, the value changes, right? Because the world changes. So one week, I want to, open a bed and breakfast. And then the next week, the pandemic hits. And all of a sudden I realize, well, opening a bed and breakfast is now not the most important thing to do. What might be more important is to, I don't know, maybe build an online connection community where people can get connected. Now that becomes valuable. So as the environment changes, the value changes.
Yeah.
By not having the morality, and as you kind of point to, each week beginning to set that conversation up, we get to freshly look at, hey, what's the environment? And rather than this big, huge goal, great, I get to break it down to one little teeny thing and choose an action there, reevaluate, and maybe go in a different direction or pivot or however I need to.
No, that's really, really great. So this is kind of like one of the opportunities available when you complete your week is what you're pointing to.
Mm-hmm.
You start to see maybe what direction you want to take, what direction you don't want to take. And it's okay to pivot or change your mind totally. Absolutely. I think people don't give themselves a lot of room because they have not, and this is such a great conversation, completed what they said they would do at the start of the week. And I think this is true whether you're an entrepreneur in your own business or you work for a company or an organization. I think it applies. Would you not say that, Ken?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. It's everywhere. I mean, to your point, it's if you're in a business, of course, the landscape for business is going to change continually. And as it changes, different opportunities, there's only so much you can do, and you're going to juggle those priorities. For individuals, the people that I coach, it's no different because you've got family life, you've got work life, you've got higher goals and aspirations. People have investing, like so. There's all this just a wide variety of actions that people could take and evaluating each week. Hey, did it work? Did it not work? And is this still the direction that I want to go in? And as you point to, give ourselves the space to choose in that moment. Nah, I don't think I want to do this week. And that's actually a valid answer. I'm not going to do anything on this week. Great. What do you want to do?
That's really, really, really great. And then, so is there a specific, would you recommend, let me say, ask it as a question, a specific time on Friday or Saturday, or like choosing your day and time that you actually stop what you're doing to complete the week?
So for most people, I would say yes, right? Choose a specific time and place to get that done. Now, me, it doesn't work like that for me, right? It
Uh-huh.
works like I've got to give myself a 1 to 2 day window, but again, it's because my brain is all over the place. And let me say that a different way. One of the things that's most powerful people is to choose a way that works for them, right? There's a
Perfect.
model that, sometimes people will say, do it like this and do it like that. Great. If that works for you, rock and roll. Like do it till the cows come home. And if you find that that begins to create that space of upset, disconnect, it doesn't happen, the morality shows it. Hey, but what's important is that it gets done on a weekly basis. So for me, how it shows up is typically either a Sunday or Monday, depending on what's going on, my week gets completed. And I actually record those numbers. So I give myself a score each week that looks at what I wanted and what didn't happen, not as a good or bad, but just as a gauge of uh, um, how well am I tracking it. And how it shows up for me is, oh my gosh, I got to put that on my list. Oh my gosh, I need to add that thing. So it's moved from this world of, oh, I didn't do that to, oh, I need to put that. I get to knock that down. So,
No, it's really great. So it's kind of the way I would, what I hear is you acknowledge your accomplishments.
mhm,
You acknowledge what you said you would do that you did do.
mhm,
You also acknowledge what you said you would do that you didn't do.
mhm.
Then you can also look at what became available or opened up or happened. Yes.
Oh my
And
gosh,
then,
yes.
yeah. And then sometimes then you see something new that are like, wow, like it might like really open up a whole new world for something else for you to explore or engage in.
Yep.
And so this is really great for those of you listening. And then it also shows you, hmm, this is not my path. This is
Yeah.
not the way I want to go with this. And you start to see things that you couldn't see by actually engaging in this one simple thing,
Mhm.
completing the week.
It's completed. Yeah.
Yes,
I want to add one other thing about this
sure.
too. So, one of the things that I've also gotten into over the last year is setting quarterly goals. Right now, these quarterly, we call them goals, but for me, there's these broad strokes. Great, this is how much I'm going to have invested in. I'm going to have this set up for a wedding. Like, but these are big, broad stroke things.
Yes.
And for someone that grew up with that undiagnosed ADD, how those big things often had showed up to me previously was, why dream about those things? Because you're not going to follow that thing all the way through to the end. Because at some particular point, you forget to do this or forget to do that, and you fall off the wagon, right? Well, now with this, being able to complete the week and marrying that up with these big goals, you create these big broad strokes and then you can forget about it for a while. Why? Well, because now I've broken the work down for each one of those into do this one little thing and that one little thing. So it's no longer these big things that I'm working for in the moment, right? I've already set that direction, set that goal, but now I can
Yes.
concentrate on the little things. And then as each thing changes, you get to adjust to that. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
they still fall into these big categories, and you get to the end of the quarter and you go, "Oh my gosh, look at that! I did that, didn't I?"
All right, that's awesome, Ken. So as we wrap up this morning's Coaches and Coffee, I'm inviting everybody, whatever day ends your week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that you complete the week. You come back to Coaches and Coffee next week, having set your goals or your intentions or created your goals for the week and or for the quarter, and really start to see what happens when you actually complete your week. Ken, any final things you want to leave us with this morning?
Um, Probably the thing I would say is just with this, it gives you the ability to really dream big and
Mm,
then work on just small little increments to get those things done, right? And as you start this, one of the things that can show up is that whole, the emotional charge about things, the good, the bad, the right, and the wrong, and just actually looking at that list and saying, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that, gives you the space to be able to actively choose, what direction you want to go in on a weekly basis. So I really hope that it empowers folks and gives you some freedom and space to actually go out there and accomplish the things that are really important to you.
awesome. Well, on that note, we have how you can contact Ken. His website is in our chat. Inspired, what is it again, Ken? Your website?
Inspired directions, and the website is NSIPIREDDIRCTIONS.com, inspireddirections.com.
Inspireddirections.com. This has been so awesome. And listen, Ken is so great. We're going to do a special on Father's Day. This is Father's Day week, everyone. This is the week. Now, look, we always want to acknowledge our fathers. I wish my father was here so that I could publicly, touch him and hold him. But I know that I can acknowledge him in good deeds and being a great person. So this week is Father's Day. We're going to do a special on Father's Day, Sunday morning at 10 a.m. with Coach Ken Robinson and with Coach Ken Robinson. And
Mm.
listen, our word for the week, our word for the week is what? Completion. Of course, it's
Oh,
completion. The action or process of finishing something, the state of being finished. And what does finish mean? Bring to an end. So, to all of you there, have a magical, magical Monday. Have a spectacular week. Have a spectacular week. And acknowledge, appreciate, love, remember, respect your fathers. To all the fathers out there, past and present, happy Father's Day. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for being in our lives. Ken Robinson, I know that you're an extraordinary father. Thank you for being a father. And we will see you next Monday. And remember, we'll have a special on Sunday for Father's Day. God bless you. Have a great week. Bye bye.
take care. Thanks for the invitation, Sheila.
Thank you for accepting and being a yes. We'll see you next week. All right. Thank you.